What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Fight Factory Wrestling Podcast right here on the MyFandom YouTube channel, coming to you live from the Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru studio here in Matawan, New Jersey. Dave Sturchio, Tommy Dee, Chris Payne in the corner, Tommy T on assignment in the worst city in the world. He is in Boston, Massachusetts right now, and hopefully, as I'm wearing my Knicks hat,
from Boston,
as it rolls
he's
off
really
tonight,
behind enemy lines right now.
he really is. And he was like, "Oh, this town's great." I'm like, "This town sucks." Shut up, Connor. You said it last night.
Owen,
you're too young.
Owen, you're too young.
Man, fuck Boston, Connor.
Fuck Boston.
We also have a very special guest in studio right now, hanging off to the side. It is our good friend Seth, who has been helping us out with all of our videos and our marketing promotion stuff for the War on the Shore 2.
Our super offensive AI.
Yeah, he's creating super offensive AI to one and one in person only.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
See, it's like it's starting to trigger everybody. There's always one, Tommy. There's always
That's
one.
the guy that hasn't come out of the basement in like 8.5 days.
Yeah, he's the one who's like afraid of the
This has been
sun.
a very difficult week for me in social media and keeping my fucking thumbs away.
We'll get
Yeah,
on.
but you're doing. I applaud you. You're doing
Good,
fantastic.
because we're about to ruin it all right here on the show. Anyway, we're being brought to you by our good friends. We said about Lucas Chevrolet already. We also want to touch on Luchadors, which Payne did a fantastic walk by, I guess you can say. I did not know that, dude. I thought for sure. I thought for sure it was a full restaurant or something like that.
No.
And now it's just like this little hut.
It's a walk-up Tex-Mex spot. It's great.
Amazing because of the.
It's almost like soup. Like soup next.
Yeah, right. No soup for you.
No, you know what it reminds me of? Clark White Diamond.
Yes. Wow. Good throwback there, Tommy. I like that. And this guy's he's Staten Island through and through. He has no idea what White Diamond was. What did that become?
Sounds
Still
racist.
there.
No, it got rebranded. No, wow.
Sounds racist.
Luchadors, we talked about them already. 10% off, $10 off your purchase on Savvy Seats if you use Fight Factory 10. 10.
A fucking 10.
You can do $10 off your purchase. So if you spend $800, you'll only spend $790. So I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, that's the perfect way to go to your events. And as I'm jonesing for the NFL schedule to come out, it's been leaked all over. Look, I'm a psychopath, Tommy. I'm starting to narrow down where the Raiders and the Cowboys can play because of the leaks that are coming out already. I'm a savage
Speaking
psychopath.
of the Raiders.
No, don't. There's nothing.
Did you see
Whoa.
Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage is John Madden? Boy, oh boy, am I excited about
What
that.
about fucking Al Davis?
Al Davis as the psycho.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. I'm like, I saw that thing. I was like, oh, look, it's another AI thing. I was
What are
like,
they doing? Like a 75 Raiders thing?
they're doing something with Matt. It's called Madden. They're making a movie about the come up of John Madden. And what's this
Prime,
guy's?
It's going to be on Prime.
It's going to be great. I cannot wait. That looks fantastic. Yeah, tough acting to Nagden. Ringside Collectibles. You can't see him over there, but Payne was able to score 2 figures, not from Ringside Collectibles, over at 90s Con. We'll talk about 90s Con in a minute. But if you want to show them, it's a 2-pack Jeff Hardy. And once upon a time, Triple H, in that period of time, was the Intercontinental Champion. I forget all about that. Do you remember the team name when he was teammates with Stone Cold? Bet you don't.
Oh, God, no, I don't. It was that because it was that short-lived.
That's what I said.
Exactly what we said.
I said it was that unholy alliance, diabolical. I don't know. I just remember Jim Ross losing his fucking mind in a cage match. Remember that's how they started.
Yeah, no,
It was
I
The
remember
Rock.
when they
beat
became
the
a tag
shit out of
team.
The Rock in a cage. And JR was having like one of his 18th strokes. He's like, on one diabolical burn! And he was like losing his shit. And I was like, oh man, he's going to die. But yeah, so that was a great tag team that never really was.
Now he's back all these years later talking about independent wrestling.
Love it. So that's Ringside Collectibles. Of
Meanwhile,
course.
Stone Cold is running over women in the front row.
Yeah, that
please.
that Karen wanted a lawsuit.
Please.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, she gets hit and then she's just like, oh. She's like
That
falls
was
into
like
her
the
seat.
Mexicans on the BQE that all fucking spill out of their car and then they take off in another car. No,
You know what?
NXT.
NXT should have hired her.
Jesus Christ.
He's better than The Rock's daughter.
All right. Enough with The Rock's daughter. Arthur Cantina,
yes,
Wine
you
and
couldn't
Spirits.
have said it better. Enough with that.
Arthur Cantina, our friends over there in the Bronx, New York, supporting the show as well. That was a Tommy T hookup. They're selling all of the Superbird tequila you can handle, as well as the new one, which is named
The new one.
the new
Wild
tequila,
Common.
Wild
Wild
Common.
Common.
There's a bottle in my office that I have not
Tom, did
cracked
you get
open
yours?
yet.
I did.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Still in my back seat.
Yeah, drive around with that. That's
You
smart.
salty yo, that's gonna go real well when they see your face. Like, see the booze and pills.
Doing a little bit of booze and have you sipping back on Grandpa's old cough medicine?
I should have brought it on the drive down to
Head
Florida.
over that, you little pumpkin haircut freak.
Where you going today? Don't even start lying. Just give me
Santiago Sports as well. Our friends down the street in Mattawan for all your wrestling collectibles. This is where I got this shirt. The Bad Guy Razor Ramon shirt. Got it there. I think they're all his former shirts because they're all 2X, which is perfect for me. Which is perfect for me. So I was like, I'll clean you out. And they're like, oh, you want this New Day shirt? I'm like, no. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Unbranded Productions. That's our boy CJ. His new production company, his line is like a sister company off of Charles Westcott Entertainment. He's going to be the one responsible for all the awesome sights that you see at the War on the Shore too, because he's the best of the best. I've worked with CJ for a very, very long time. He's top notch. So we stockpiled him alongside GPW.
He knocked you out of the park last year.
You got yourself a hell of a lineup as far as guys that are helping us out. That's what Seth's going to be doing. He's going to be going live and helping us out with social media on that day. Because I feel like we didn't have that the first two shows. There wasn't anybody finding out about what was happening as it was happening, almost like a wish you were here type deal. I think that's absolutely necessary, and I think that's going to make people say like, fuck, I'm not missing this shit next year. I'm not. So that's kind of how I feel about a lot of things that I've seen online, where I'm just like, damn, I wish I was there. Like how we feel about the Collective. We saw the Collective on the Fight TV and Triller and all that stuff, and we're like, we got to be there next year. So working on that as well. Speaking of the War on the Shore 2, we made a couple announcements last week that went over very, very well. One of them being a triple threat beach fight match between Sean Donovan, Jordan Oliver, and Ken Dixon. Last year, if you remember, it was supposed to be Sean Donovan and Jordan Oliver. He tears his ACL. Ken Dixon comes in, talks a bunch of shit, drinks a bunch of beer, shoots some tequila, and then, the rest is history.
What if we did like a fans bring the weapons?
Well, I would say cool, but I would also say like, try getting that past security. You know what I mean? Like people are bringing in like, here's my crutch. It's like, you need the crutch?
Amy's like, where are you going with that microwave?
Somebody brought the kitchen sink, the literal fucking kitchen sink.
Is that an espresso machine?
Yeah, right.
It's
So
100 degrees
there's so many things that can go wrong with that. So I digress.
But that's why we love DCW.
Yeah, it's true. We also announced Tara Zepp. We didn't have a choice in the matter. There was a DM sent. She's like, I'm coming. Tough shit. And I'm like, you're right. You are coming. And that's it. No argument there. I have no idea what the hell she's doing. I don't know where she's going to be or where she's going to emerge from.
Either way, she's booked.
Yes, either way, she's in the building. And again, I didn't do too much recon on her until like the messages came through. And I was like, oh, she knows a lot of people. She's like a lot of friends. One of the people that liked the photo was Chris Jericho. And I was just like, wait. This math ain't mathin'. Who is this girl? So we did some recon, and I
celebrated her birthday on the cruise ship.
Incredible. And we also announced Sunny Kiss. We will get more into her involvement in the War on the Shore as well. Boys, we went to 90s Wrestling Con over the weekend. I feel like it was a decent event. Definitely more on the heavier volume in the beginning of the day, from like 10
Usually
to
how
12.
it happens.
And then it just kind of fizzled out. But we had a great time. I mean, Payne bought figures. We sold some tickets. We gave away some cups.
Got made fun of by Thresher again.
Huh?
Got made fun of by Thresher again.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's great?
And the best part was, not only did he do it once, he came back to the table to do it for you again.
And make no mistake about it, the Headbangers are an all-time team for WWF.
But they were great.
They were great to talk to and pick their brains. I know that Thrasher is a big Cowboys guy, so I was talking to him first about the Cowboys.
Big Payne guy.
Yeah, and then then Payne was like, "Hey, this is the story." And then once Payne told him the story, he then told the story again to somebody else. I forget.
2 minutes later, Josh Chernoff walks by.
He's like, "You're never gonna believe this. This guy over here." And I'm like, "Oh shit." And then we had the awesome opportunity to talk to Mr. Eric Bischoff for a couple minutes, mostly about his new endeavor with Hulk Hogan and the amateur wrestling. So I was talking to my dad about this. You can't call it amateur wrestling because it's no longer amateur if they're going to get paid to do it, and it's a league or something. What are they doing?
That's what they've called it, even in the Olympics, amateur wrestling.
It's like Greco-Roman or something like that.
So Greco-Roman is different. Greco-Roman is an entirely different scoring system.
Okay.
So if they're going off of what the Olympics are, which is probably the smartest move, because you're probably going to get most of these guys coming off that and straight out of college to it, and that's the rules that they're used to.
Yeah.
It's amateur wrestling.
Our amateur contributor, Tommy Dee.
Yeah, right. He's the first
You
on the
can't
scene.
really. I mean, you could call it professional grappling, but not really because there's no submissions. It's just pins.
So professional amateur wrestling. That's exactly what they're doing, and I guess that's. And I think he has a great, like, I guess, because I always said this about guys like we know, like Paz, and even like Gabe Stevenson or whatever, when he left college and went to the WWE, didn't pan out, and then he went back to college and he lost in the Nationals. But I'm trying to think, like, what happens to you after that's over?
Honestly,
You get nothing,
most
or
of
you go
these-
into MMA?
Most of these guys will start a wrestling club and
Teach young,
coach.
yeah, and coach young. So
It's like
now
women's college softball.
that should be a professional sport. I think.
Well, they have it, but they make like $100.
Wait, there's a professional women's softball.
So wait, they get paid more than the WNBA players?
Well, the WNBA.
WNBA, let's fucking call a spade a spade. They should be fucking paying people to watch them.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're in
There
the
we
red
go.
every year, but then they want to bitch about, oh, we need money, we need uniforms, we need private planes.
You know
we
what? You
need
just
this."
offended the guy
Shut
who
the
you just
fuck
offended
up.
the guy who was bitching about AI. Right now, he's watching. He's like, God damn it, fuck these guys. But
Yeah, it's
let's just
absurd.
make a watchable product, and we'll all watch it. Sometimes I watch
Yeah.
it.
Lower the hoops to 8.5 feet.
I see him,
And
I
stop
see him-
saying it's about everyone else other than Caitlin Clark, because it's who it's about
Let
right
them
now.
dunk.
Let them dunk.
Let them
Okay.
dunk.
That'll be perfect.
Oh, Griner's in trouble.
Who?
Brittany Griner.
The one that was like captive or whatever.
Bobby Griner, whatever her name is.
She was in Russia, right, for a little while.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she
And then they
was.
gave up a fucking arms dealer for her.
Here we go. Anyway, back to wrestling. How about
No,
that?
but she got in trouble. She got jammed up with
The
betting,
law.
gambling.
Come on, man. I bet you I get out of jail. I bet you.
Bet on
Anyway,
her own team. Just
So
like
yes,
Perfect.
it's a cool idea. It's going to take a little while to catch on.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
100%, just like anything else.
It's going to take a while because, like I was saying with Mr. Bischoff, during the Olympics,
so professional. I love it.
I didn't call him. I
you
did
don't
not
gotta
call him
suck
Eric.
him
I
off
called him
now,
Mr.
guys.
I
Bischoff.
walk right up to him like, "What up, Easy?" Hey.
You've conversed. This is my first time.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going to
true.
call
Yeah, but
you
you don't
Mr.
got to
Bischoff.
suck him off now. He's not in the room.
Anyway,
I'm back. What the fuck?
like I had said to him, you know, when you watch the Olympics, which wrestling is the oldest Olympic sport, it's not on TV anymore. It goes on to the NBC app, and fucking ping pong is on TV.
Exactly
Gotta
what
love
you
that
said,
ping pong.
actually.
Yeah. But it's the truth because that's how it was. So it's like it's going to take a little bit longer to catch on. But some of these bigger names that like Joe Rogan's talked about for years, like the Jordan Burroughs, like I'd said to him, having Ben Askren there, that's a
Askren,
big one for them.
Did he announce that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah. No, it was announced on
He's
Twitter.
a perfect candidate
I'm
for this.
sorry. I'm not excited for him.
For who? Ben
Askren.
Askren. Oh, he's
Well,
great.
because you're used
But
to him from the fighting,
a
right?
UFC guy though? I mean, like.
I watched Jorge knock his face into the
Yeah,
yeah.
well, again,
You
like,
know,
that was just a
you
weird.
know him for that, but like as far as wrestling
He's
goes,
great.
No,
Right.
I know he's a good wrestler.
you know,
which is why he didn't do
I
well.
think it's also avenues
Because
for
he had
like
no other skill.
depending how they're going to do this. I don't know if they're going to have teams or whatever, but could be a good way to get Brock in front of the camera, having him coach a team
Oh yeah.
for amateur
I
wrestling.
wonder
like,
if somebody like DC would actually go back down and
Yeah,
and
so
help
there's-
out
there's
with that.
diff- there's ways that
listen,
they
there's a
can do it.
market
Didn't he
for
say
it.
something about DC the other day?
I'm not sure,
I
but
think they put a call out.
there's a market for everything. We all watched. We were sitting at home 5 years ago watching fucking cornhole. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a market for everything.
No, it's the truth. And with social media, it can easily
100%,
blow
dude.
up.
And you know what? You are going to have your head cases that just are characters. You know what I mean? But they back it up on the mat. Yeah, listen. Eric Bischoff has been a success his entire career. I feel like this is no different than anything else he's done. And it's funny because when I posted that picture of all of us with Eric, a couple people, the Bucci brothers, actually, Donna and Mike, both said, like, this guy doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. And I almost feel like that's accurate. Like, we're all sitting here praising wrestling as it is today.
Yeah, but you know why?
Well, I'm just saying,
Because of his outspoken dislike for AEW.
Okay, but if you take away what
but take away AEW. Let's just pretend AEW doesn't exist ever.
You also take away what Vince. If you take what Vince did recently and got in trouble for, and put it way back when everything was going on, you would have a different story, a different narrative there too, based on that.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Because
It's
everyone was
just
afraid
there's-
to fucking
I guess
cross
there
the
was a
boss.
lot of stories like
Right? Don't cross the boss.
I think there was a lot of stories early on before he was really getting his footing in with WCW. But I mean, he's made amends with
He
almost
looks-
everybody that he's
listen,
had to. So
he's the definition of a go-getter. Right?
yeah,
He went out and got every
listen,
opportunity.
The guy's an ace. He's awesome. He was awesome. It was a fucking bucket list moment for me. I mean, I know you've interviewed him. I don't know if you've ever met him before.
No, but I'm a WCW fucking mark.
Well, so the both of us were. So it's like, it was huge. But the biggest moment for me, honestly, was talking with Mark Marrow, not about wrestling. He was showing us his old boxing videos back when boxing was boxing.
When he was Golden Gloves.
He used to knock the living fuck out of people.
And now he's the most positive,
Oh my
influential
God, he's
speaker of
aces.
all time.
Aces.
He is just the most wonderful person. He is actually, I believe we follow each other on Twitter. Like, that dude is a motivating mother effer, and it was never always that way. And he used to just murk people, and it was just... It's awesome that you guys got to talk to him. I didn't get a chance to go see him. But again, Dan Severn was there with the UFC title.
He was fun.
Ken Shamrock was there. That was cool. A couple last minute cancellations. They had. I have to touch on this. I love the Macho Verse guy. You know, he's my guy. Love him. Yeah, right. Cup of coffee. I love him. If you're gonna cosplay, and Dusty's the man. Looks just like him. Sounds just like him. It's so fun. But there are some cosplay guys at this show that completely sucked. Like, there was this guy who just got out of bed, put on a SWAT team outfit, and called himself the big boss man. I wanted to blow my
God.
fucking head off.
Bro, do you know that for the first half of the show, I thought he was the fucking security guard.
Dude, he
was walking around. I was like, there's no way this guy's stopping anybody.
Bro, they're doing this like pan to every guy.
Yeah.
And they pan to Macho. He's doing it right, and then they do the dust it, baby. Then they go to him. He's like, hard times. You're like fucking
I would have at least worn the old school. I would have at least worn the old school.
The blue
blues,
with the strap. Yes.
Not the Attitude Era.
Not the
SWAT.
one that got hung by the Undertaker.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Bro, legit thought he was the fucking security guard.
yeah, right. Well, him, and then again, shout out to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase cosplayer guy, but he's a better Triple H. I met him when he was Triple H at WrestleCon.
He does Triple H too?
Bro, he had, first of all, he's actually bald, so he was wearing a wig. His beard
shit.
is just like Triple H's. And then he did the leather jacket with the jeans and the sledgehammer and the
Yeah, I
sunglasses.
saw that, okay.
And it was fucking aces. And I
know
met him
it's
at
the same
WrestleCon. Not WrestleCon, WWE
WrestleCon.
World. Well, WWE World, I met him there too. And he comes dressed as $1 Million Man. I'm like, nope. Not it. I get it. You got the full glittery suit
Sandman
thing.
look good.
I mean, are you being honest or no? You're not. Sandman wore
Trying
Zubas
to be
and a
nice.
cigarette and a
to be
fucking
nice.
cane.
You should have sold him a fucking hat to go with his pants that
Bro,
day.
the real Francine left at like 11:30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was in and out. She was in and out. And Jillian Hall apparently was.
Never even saw her.
She was at the airport and they're like, it's been delayed. She's like, fuck this. I went home. That was it.
I feel like
she got her
that
flight
happened
delayed
a lot,
once
I
and that
feel
was
like.
it.
There was a few people that pulled off, man.
D'Lo wound up at Maple Leaf Pro, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But like, he wound up with that show. Godfather was not there as well.
Nope.
But as Tommy Fierro does, he's announced already.
Was Steve Blackman supposed to be there?
No. He was at the last one, the last 90s con they had in Atlantic City. But Tommy Fierro has done it again. He's announced another September 90s wrestling con and in Parsippany, I believe, at the Parsippany PAL. So smaller venue, not the Men in Sports
Bro,
Arena.
I'd love to grab one of the guys that's the talent and just like ask Tommy for like a half an hour with them. Maybe shoot him a couple bucks to have him come and sit with us and do like a panel where like the fans can come and sit.
I think, honestly, instead of, again, Tommy knows how to run his stuff, but instead of your sing-alongs and your trivias and your Jeopardies, you have a 2-hour block of Fight Factory podcast interviewing the talent and just having a panel.
2 hours is a long fucking time.
1 hour, whatever.
you.
You know what I'm talking about. He's like, fuck
We
that.
do 47 minutes here. And I'm
You know what it
fine.
is because if it's 2 hours, that's 2 hours less. He gets to walk around and get figures and all that other stuff.
Oh, you talking about Payne? Yeah.
You're making fun of me? You were blowing Severin, and you have to make fun of me?
You're damn right. I had a great conversation with a fucking
There was
legend.
90 people at 90s Con, and you wanted me to fucking sit at the
Also,
table?
you know who also was there? Ron Simmons was there. Farouk was in the building. Damn. And he did a fantastic, I don't know if you saw this, but they released a video of all the cosplayers doing their thing, and then Ron Simmons is like walking behind him, and he stops, and does the whole look, and damn. It was great. It was a very fun day. Like I said,
there was a moment when they started playing the music, and I was just like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Pat Savino, referee for ISPW, possible referee for Fight Factory.
Yeah, that was good the way he came out. Hey, brother.
And that's what he said. And I was like, So, and I'm like, okay, so you want to be booked on the War on the Shore as a referee? He's like, brother. I was like, well, that sold me. I got it. But he's the DJ, and he put on some Spotify playlists, and I felt like it was a '90s playlist of like R&B and like the Cranberries and shit. It was,
the music that
was
came on,
brutal.
I literally.
No, you know what? The Cranberries would have been fine because at least there's a fucking guitar in there.
Bro, if you played Zombie, I would have been fine with it. But
We
there was,
were
like,
listening
fucking,
to like
holy
R&B
shit.
slow jams.
What if God Was One of Us came on?
That-
And
that's a-
I'm
yeah.
like, you could hear a pin drop amongst the music, and I'm like, can we change the music?
and we kept yelling that from across the way, and everybody's laughing at us because we're saying what everybody else is thinking. Like, what is this shit? You play '90s Attitude Era wrestling music on loop, and I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, awesome all
But I
day.
literally said, what is this shit? And they're like, it's 90s music. And I go, oh my God, I should have killed myself.
The '90s music is the best generation of music, just not that
Just
'90s
not
music.
that one.
That was rough. Speaking of more,
That was Bath 2 Mil.
It should have been like the WWE and WCW soundtracks, and I know they got them on Spotify.
100% they got him.
Kick the day off. Huh?
Just Wolfpack and yeah, it would be fun. It would be fun. Just so next time, just change the music. Staying on the independents before we get to any kind of WWE talk. We don't have a lot of WWE stuff, but got a special shout to our boy, the guy who's holding this currently right now, Danny Maff, making his debut at Maple Leaf Pro. Just an awesome spot for him to come in. Jump the rail, beat the shit out of PCO, who is now 57 years old. Me and Seth were doing some recon. 57 years old PCO going out there getting the shit kicked out of him by Maff. And Maff took out a bunch of poor schmucks as far as the security guards are concerned.
That clothesline at the end was nice.
Woo, that was stiff. Oh, man. He fucking laid that in. And I was like...
It was a little necky.
Yeah, little take your head off type shit. But this is exactly what, Payne has said it. We've said it. It's far too removed from him being in a big spot. We do the best we can here. We run, we ran twice last year. We hopefully run twice, maybe 3 times this year if we, God willing. But like, we try to give him the best spot because we feel like he's earned it, right? Like nobody else is seeing that. And there's no disrespect to Sean Donovan. There's a lot of tag team stuff in there where he and, sent to Slaughter and they're going for ACW. We'll talk about that in a second. They got a bunch of cool matches and cool things there, but Maff hasn't had his moment in the sun in a very, very long time. And I feel like this was a perfect opportunity. He told me, as soon as he got the call, he called me, and he's like, hey, I need to keep you in the loop. Scott D'Amore is flying me out to Toronto, and this is the role. I said, bro, we had this long talk, and then like an hour went by, he goes, bro, it's at the Maple Leaf Gardens. And I was like, wait, you didn't know that you're at the historic Maple Leaf Gardens the whole time? So you're marking out for the spot, and you don't even know where you're going and the history that was in that building? But kudos to Maff, man. He killed it. Apparently, he's going to have a nice little program now with PCO, as I believe Resurrection is next with Maple Leaf Pro. But if you watch that, bro, like, you want to talk about production value. Like, holy shit. I thought I was watching TNA or an NXT.
Yeah,
or, like, it looked fantastic.
Well, D'Amore knows what the fuck he's doing.
That, he has his connections.
He ran TNA for however long. You know what I mean?
He has his connect. He gave me my spot. Like these are the. I'll never forget
He
him
didn't
for
give me
doing
shit, but hey, man, good luck.
Well, listen, you're still young. It might happen.
Bro.
Bro.
I was in the gym today. I wanted to fucking throw myself.
Yeah, but I mean, he
off
might
the
maybe
stand.
have a
Me and
security
Payne
job for you.
Me and Payne. Listen, full transparency. Me and Payne wanted to be in this year's Rumble. We were like,
We
fuck.
were in this year's
We
Rumble
were
up
in this
until
year's Rumble
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were like, you know what? Nah.
I'm still holding out hope.
Yeah. So listen.
We just kept telling each other, like slowly, like whispering to each other, like, "Is this Carney?"
Yeah, it's just this is nerdy shit to kind of put
hokey.
myself in the fucking Rumble match. Like, look, the spot would have been funny. It would have got a
It
rose.
was funny for us,
But to be honest, it gives 2 other people a chance to be in this thing. So we're still working out the kinks. We still got technically
I give him my spot.
3 spots. 3 spots are actually up for grabs right now. So we got to narrow down our search, and I think I have a couple names that we'll all agree on at the end of the day. ACW goes
I have
down.
a couple of names we're all going to agree
I
on.
think we'll
Got
all
it.
agree on. If we don't, we don't. Then we'll kick around more ideas.
Basically, Dave's got them booked.
No, I don't have anybody booked. I don't do that anymore because I don't need the fucking call from Payne.
You don't even have to
I gotta
pay me.
be honest, bro.
Yeah, but you don't even have to pay me. I'll just go.
Huh?
You don't even have to pay me. I'll just go in, get thrown out, and then be done with it.
Tommy,
Tommy,
we
you
need
owe us
you.
money.
We need, Tommy, we need you to be able to lift a finger at the end of the night. So you getting thrown. Hey, can you not break the
I'm like,
trust?
what the fuck is that noise? I'm like, is somebody banging pipes?
It's the trust
fucking
behind
trust.
you. All right. The floor's a little uneven. ACW goes down this week. The main event, the birthday boy, his 40th birthday is today. Matt Cardona challenges for the ACW championship against Richard Holiday.
He's only 40.
I
was about to say, he's only
I
40?
got excited. I was like, oh, cool, he's my
I
age.
thought he was like 41 or 42 at least.
Well, that's Pat and Kevin, and they're all a 1 year. I think they're all, even Hawkins just celebrated his 40th.
I'm dying.
So, anyway. So that match is going down. Moose and Santana for the X Division Championship.
Once upon a time.
Where did you wrestle Moose? Was that
Sayreville.
That was at Starland, right?
Yeah, Starland. That was a really good match.
I think you guys went back to Starland, and I wasn't part of it. Is that when you had RVD on the show too?
I think that was.
Or
that
was it Rey Mysterio?
Was that? It was either Mysterio or Omega.
I wasn't there for either one, so I think it was the same show. I was there for
sure because I started doing.
I was there for Diamond Dallas Page.
You sure I wasn't? I was doing the Moose thing, and you called out. Didn't you call out the Moose?
Maybe that was that night. Maybe I would have to
No,
see the flyer.
1,000% it was you because I was doing the Moose antlers with a figure.
His fucking memory's fucked up from your shitty chair shot.
I had him in a figure full leg lock, and I was doing the Moose fucking call at him. Go moo.
You know, what is that? Is that a fucking Full House reference? Hi, I'm
Michelle Tanner.
And you know what? Screen grabbing the fuck out of that one. That was just like him doing this shit.
It was Uncle Joey, but he's not really the uncle, so it's just their friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a weird dynamic that was. Like nobody ever referred to him as Uncle Joey.
Right.
I always thought he was Uncle Joey. He was never called Uncle Joey. He was just
And
Joey.
is he Uncle Jesse, right? Because
it's Uncle Jesse.
is Danny's
The
younger
wife's brother.
The wife's brother.
The wife's brother. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's Greek. Danny Tanner's a white. Like,
Never suck dick for coke.
And now Seth is like, wow, these guys are going to get canceled on my first day here. That's an addiction. Yeah. Don't talk to me about it, dude. That's an addiction. And of course, sent to Slaughter against the Now for the inaugural. I hate that word. Inaugural. Oh, yeah, listen to him.
Red leather, yellow
It's
leather.
inaugural.
All right, that one. First ever tag team champions of ACW to be determined inside.
it's a mediocre booking.
15-foot high steel cage. I got it. Listen, I got to give credit to the Now because you see the stress that we go through to create a show, and then on what we had to deal with on show day. Imagine like. Okay, so you got the thing here, and you're like, okay, this match, and then like you got Maff, and you're like, you want to call our match? He's like, yeah, the spot here, and you do that, bro. You cannot, and that's why kudos to those guys for booking themselves on the show in a match like that. If I'm you guys and I don't know the order yet, open the show, open the show, put the fucking cage up, take the cage down. That's it. Do not do intermissions where you gotta like set the cage up and this, that. It's always a killer. I told that to Fierro last time because it just takes Chad and his team or whoever's the chat.
Did you see the
I
kid
had to
running
help
the
the
ropes?
one kid.
What?
Dude,
Did you see the kid running the ropes?
I don't know. A bunch of like,
I'd help the one kid with the fucking one wall of the cage.
Yeah.
He couldn't get out the door. Tommy's walking next to me. He's like, my anxiety, bro. I got to go back to the table. I said, fuck it. I grabbed the fucking thing and started walking out with him.
What a good hand you are.
Bill Alfonso was hysterical.
Oh, that's right. Fonzie was there too.
Yeah, he left to Francine at 11:30.
That was it. That was done.
Sandman was there too.
I know Sam
Yeah.
was there. I saw him.
Yeah, they all left on the fucking midnight train to Georgia. It was fucking, it was gone.
Gonzo. But anyway, so that's ACW. Goes down to Poughkeepsie this Saturday night. Get your tickets. They're almost sold out, which is, again, kudos to those guys. They're doing a great job.
Poughkeepsie,
Poughkeepsie.
Where
You know
is
who's from
that?
Poughkeepsie?
New York.
Yeah, but where? Like in
Upstate.
Yeah,
like
fucking TT. Tommy. Oh my God.
Tequila's up there?
He's in White Plains. Is he not?
Okay, thank you.
If that's
Perfect.
the case,
Oh,
I
I
should
need-
fucking tell him
got
to come
it?
to the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know he was there.
Shit
I thought for sure he was out in like Long Island-ish
No,
area.
he's fucking upstate, Tommy.
Oh. Well, so yeah, so that's going down this Saturday. I'm very excited for the show. It should be a lot of fun. Like I said, the crowd's great. I'll get to see our girl Paige there, Paige Palms. She'll be working the show as well, so I'll talk to her, coordinate with her of what she's going to be doing for the War on the Shore. But we are officially, as of today, less than 9 weeks away. We are 62 days
Holy
away
fuck.
from the show.
62 days sounds like, all right, we got some time. Less than 9
until
weeks, it's like,
wait until next week
fuck.
when we're in the 50s.
Yeah.
And it's like, and start sweating and just anxiety attacks. Payne has no idea what's happening right now because once again, he's like, here we go. It's work. It's work. It's all right. Everybody okay?
Where Poughkeepsie was.
Deadpool. You know who's from Poughkeepsie? Casey Cattell.
Really?
Yeah, because I had to announce her one time. And I was like, from Poughkeepsie. I was like, I don't know how to say this or spell it.
No one cares.
Okay. Married to Brandon Kirk. Anybody else care about that?
Nope.
No. Okay, great.
How many days?
62. So now it's starting to sweat. Look, man, things are taken care of. We just got to sell more tickets. How about,
No, they're not.
Okay, they're not.
They're not.
We're completely unprepared, and we should probably just cancel the show.
One thing is not prepared.
One thing is not prepared.
I like to fucking
Okay, all right, relax. All right, anyway, so WWE.
go on to the office.
Talk to the wrestling. Talk to the wrestling. Talk to the wrestling community. WWE Backlash went down. I got to watch that here, actually, because I was too tired to drive home. So I actually came here, got loaded all the stuff.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I loaded the whole studio back up with all the stuff from the 90s Wrestling Con. The Knicks were on. They were getting destroyed at the time. And I was like, I'm just going to order some really fat food right now and just fucking sit down and not move. And then I was like, oh, wait, Backlash. And so that started. I watched the whole thing, and then I went home. So Backlash happens. Randy Orton loses to John Cena.
Good match.
It was a good match. It was a lot. I think John Cena's performance in this one was way
Well, that's what I was going to
leaps and
say. This is his
bounds
best match since he's been back.
Yeah. Just because. Now, look, we watched Raw. Nothing happened outside on the John Cena front because, you're waiting for him to come out, and it didn't happen. It was CM Punk's return, so we got a promo out of him. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, he says it right before the show goes off the air on Saturday night. I want competition. Does that scream somebody completely different than who we've had? Like, Cody Rhodes has been gone, right? And then Roman Reigns is on vacay as well. Is it somebody new? Is it somebody, like, who's next for John Cena? He wants competition. Now, we all saw what he did to poor R-Truth at the press conference right after.
His childhood hero.
And Seth tells me that Truth and Cena are one-on-one at Saturday Night's Main Event. I did not know they booked that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Somebody said give Truth the belt so that he can get his little nod as getting the championship. And then John Cena wins it back from him a week later, and now he's the 18-time world champion.
Oh, my God. Whoever said that is a genius. That is actually really, really good, because Truth has to be on his way out as well. He keeps
losing dreads in the front. I don't know if you noticed this.
I don't know if he's on his way out because he does not look as old as he is, and he doesn't move as old as he is. He's might have found the fountain of youth.
He's a national treasure. I think him winning the belt would be insane.
Oh, my God. Forget about it.
Oh, my God. That would be a moment for WWE forever. And then...
they also said it would take away the racism stigma.
Oh, Christ. I mean...
All right, take that out.
Stigma. No, I'm just saying the stigma has been removed. Moreover, it's just Hogan.
The Rock is black.
Right. Don't get me started. But so Truth, Cena. Then we get a tag team match formed between CM Punk and Sami Zayn against Rollins and Breaker. We get a Sami turn here. They're alluding to it way too much, I think. No? So he's faced to the... Okay. Do we get a third man at any point? Or are they cool just doing the two with Heyman?
It's just going to be the two thing.
Yeah.
To me, and I feel bad saying this, but this is kind of like... It's kind of like a throwaway to me. Because it's like, okay, you want CM Punk and Rollins, right? Mm-hmm. But to me, Braun outshines Seth 1,000,000 to 1.
Well, that's why.
So you got to have something for Braun.
I alluded to this. I alluded to this
when
when they announced this team and they showed that they were together. I was like, isn't this like gut punch to the momentum of anything that Braun's been doing? Because now you're not getting those.
This is why I said
it
to
from
you,
Jump Street that it's going to be fucking Paul and Braun.
That's why I said to you, I think that Seth is just going to be the mouthpiece for a little bit until Heyman has Breaker turn on him.
Pulling.
Could be.
Because he
Excited about that.
He did it again this week.
Did he?
In the locker room when they had like their little thing, whatever, and Seth said something to Braun, and he walked out, and then Paul's in the background with that sadistic, sinister.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's true. And then we also have, we saw a promo on Monday. Gunther was back out there, basically challenging the winner of Jey Uso and Logan Paul, which all signs would say they're gonna run it back with Jey Uso and Gunther. However, I don't know, man. The more I see this, and the more that the WWE allows Jey Uso to keep calling Logan Paul like the YouTuber, I feel like this is like a recipe for like a trap game, like a slip up. You know, like fuck, I didn't take this YouTuber serious enough, and all of a sudden,
I missed the
Logan
playoffs.
Paul's the champ.
No, that's not. I think Logan Paul will come close, and then
Kind of like a Roman Reigns situation where he was like
at the
right
end,
there.
Jay'll give him his respect because Jay's a big baby face, right?
Yeah.
So Jay will give him his respect.
Unless
and then walk out.
Gunther helps Jay retain so that he can face Jay and then has to beat him because he took the belt from him, and now all of a sudden it's fucking Gunther wins the belt.
I don't know how I
and then he
feel
goes
about
against Logan. That's like a while to say. Sorry.
Yeah, no, land the plane. I think that was. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like the shots at Logan right now are, while they're warranted to some, you know, when Jake Paul boxes, I'm like, this fuck. Beat this bitch's ass. You know what I mean? But Logan Paul, what are you gonna, who are YouTuber? Guess what? They're all YouTubers. You know what I mean? They're all on social media. They're all the same people.
But I think it's expected from these guys that have come up through the independents and all that other stuff to still take shots at this guy who, just because he's Logan Paul, was able to be given a shot in the pro wrestling ring. Look, he's done phenomenal. I mean, his matches have been great.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's saying that he's not doing the work. He just didn't do the work to get there like the rest of these guys did. So now, and I get it. It's all part of the script or whatever, but it's expected.
I just don't know if he's moving the needle the way the WWE thinks he is.
Logan?
Yeah, to get to that level.
Yeah, we'll see. One more thing on the WWE is that the draft apparently is coming back up.
I didn't hear that. Please don't tell me that's true.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah. No, I think the draft is coming back. And again, we're all yawning and shit. The draft has never. I know. Same. The draft has never been a thing to me. I don't think it ever does anything for anybody.
We did our own draft that one year.
No, yeah. Let's not talk about that because there's too many people that are blackballed off the face of the earth that were in that draft, and you and me are not two of them.
No.
But yeah, apparently they might move it up. Apparently it was supposed to be right before SummerSlam, but now they might do it like within the next couple of weeks.
I don't like it, man.
I don't like it either because they never really do anything with it. It's never an impact thing. It's never like, oh, the only way you make this cool now is if you make TNA guys eligible. There's a partnership there. Have the ability to draft a TNA guy to Raw or SmackDown and give them their break right there.
When do you think they officially bring Hendry in?
Has to be, well, he's the champ, so it's like you have to take the belt off him eventually. But like, yeah, I mean, he's one of them. He's one of them.
You think he wins the NXT belt and relinquishes the TNA?
No, no. I think if they bring him in, he's straight to the main roster of some variation. But I'm saying like the draft has never meant anything since like when they used to wear the blue and the red shirts. You know what I mean? Like, back then, that made sense because you're going against each other.
Paul Heyman was running SmackDown and Stephanie had Raw. And that's when SmackDown was steamrolling Raw.
I know.
And look, let's be real here. Up until recently, I still think that SmackDown was the better show until Raw moved to Netflix. Now, I mean, I can't tell you, and I feel bad saying this because
I can't remember the last time I watched SmackDown.
Same.
And we're huge
talking Friday nights. We're talking Friday nights, NBA playoffs, NHL. If you're in the NHL playoffs, what?
This guy goes right to sports.
That's how it is for me.
Yeah, but I
don't watch Raw during football season.
Friday at 8.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Friday at 8. Like, you're with your families. You're eating dinner.
No, my tism kicks in. I'll have one there and then one here.
No,
so I can watch both.
I for football season, I never watch it. Like, I don't watch Raw. Like, I just don't. I'll watch it on Tuesday, the highlights. I'll never watch it live. It could be the fucking Jags and the Vikings, and I would watch Monday Night Football over amazingly because like fantasy implications and shit like that. But yeah. So anyway,
ends up being 10-6.
Yeah, right. It's a snoozer. By the way, October 5th, clear schedule.
We're going to the Jets game.
Cowboys Jets game. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna be fun. You could bring Chase. I'll bring nobody but beer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna expose my child to that.
All right, good. So it'll just be you and I, and we'll go absolutely ham. We'll bring flyers for our November show, which doesn't exist yet. So you never know. But before we get out of here today,
Fight Factory presents Stolen Land.
Yeah. Before we get out of here,
what the fuck?
could they have made a more Thanksgiving type game with the Cowboys and the Chiefs? Like, oh my God. It's like on Turkey Day.
Redskins Chiefs.
Yeah, we had the Redskins a couple years ago, I think. But before we get out of here, should have opened the show with this.
Sorry, Commanders.
Yeah, whatever. Should have opened the show with this. I did not because I chose because we have thoughts about it. I have thoughts about it. Tommy's got thoughts about it. But we do thoughts and prayers to the family of Sabu. We lost an absolute icon in professional wrestling. The guy was out of his fucking skull. He knows it. Everybody else knows it. Just based off his debut, if you remember the debut where he was like Hannibal Lecter on the stretcher thing, and then ever since then, the tolerance for pain for this guy has just been astronomical.
Look at how his stomach looked.
Yeah, it was just
huge scars
just
across
cut
it.
up across the
He
board.
looked like a Vietnam vet.
Was his first WWE appearance when he jumped off the R?
Yeah.
Yeah, during that like mini invasion thing. He had a legendary career, and everybody knows it. He was an innovator. He was a pioneer.
Sami Zayn was pushing for him to be in WWE Hall of Fame before
Yep.
he passed.
And
last year or 2 years ago.
I mean,
The sad thing is, it's probably going to happen now. But
now that it's
Same thing
easier
with
to
Pete
happen.
Rose.
But same thing with Pete Rose. But moreover on this is the no pun because of a WWE pay-per-view, but the backlash that certain people are getting because of the untimely death. Now, Tommy Tequila was just at the stand for the Legion of Skanks
Monday.
He was there Monday watching Sabu rip beers, smoke weed, whatever, do his thing, hang out, have a good time with the boys, smile, laugh, all that shit. And then a couple days later, he's gone. It reminds me of when Warrior cuts his promo, and the next thing you know, he's gone the next day. And you're like, wait, what? So, like, was there closure for Sabu? Maybe, right? He had his retirement match with Joey Janela. Now, there are people out there, which, again, has rubbed Tommy into the wrong way possible, including myself. But we try to refrain from saying anything that we don't want to, be taken out of context. And sometimes you read a tweet and you're just like, it doesn't make any sense. But if anybody out there right now dares to call Joey Janela like a murderer or something to that effect, or something where he was at all responsible for the death of a legend, you guys are out of your skulls. You deserve to have your phones and Twitter's accounts deactivated and banned because you don't deserve a voice. You don't deserve to be on this earth, actually, for saying shit like that about another human being, because Joey has gone out of his way to make this match happen, right? And it almost didn't happen. They had a backup match planned for, I believe it was Matt Tremont was ready to go for a replacement match, and that would have definitely made a lot of fans mad, right? Of course, right? But Sabu, being the person that he is, he shows up, he puts out, and there's your match, right? And now there are rumors of taking certain substances prior to.
It's not even a fucking substance.
It's not a substance. It's
buy it
literally
at
something that you can get at the Hess station down
You
the
can buy
street.
it at a fucking gas station. These idiots are saying that it's an opiate. They don't sell over-the-counter opiates in the United States. This isn't fucking Mexico.
Tommy, elaborate, please.
Seriously.
This isn't Mexico. Because they were going at Brett Lauderdale, too, saying it was like, you're assholes, because honestly, if you didn't know who Sabu was before, like, this guy's had a 30-plus year career basically being a fucking crash test dummy for your entertainment. Eventually, your body's going to give out. You're also the same assholes that will spend $20 to go watch a guy go through 30 fucking light tubes on top of a bed of nails and all this bullshit when that guy's getting a hot dog and a fucking $20 bill and a handshake at the end of the night for your fucking entertainment. This guy put his body on the line for 30-plus years. He did what he wanted to do. He took.
He's a grown
Kratom.
man. He's a grown man. Guess what? When I wake up in the morning, I go, "Where's the Aleve?"
Yeah.
Because I need it
Wait,
to get
and
through the
here's the
day.
best part.
Where's the weed? I need it to relax at the end of the
It
night.
was 3 fucking weeks ago.
Right, that's what I'm
3
saying.
fucking weeks ago. The guy was just drinking beers and smoking weed, which he always smoked fucking weed. I'm sure he took pills outside of it. He lived his life the way that he fucking wanted to. These same fucking backyard fucking deathmatch guys that you follow, guess what? Most of them are on fucking substances.
Can't say it better.
It just
Because it's mind-numbing.
shit, and it
It's
happens,
mind-numbing
man.
that somebody
and
would-
it's fucked up. You don't blame 2 other people for another guy's fucking decision.
Correct.
Shut the fuck up.
He wanted to text that. It would have never made sense.
No,
Save it
because
for
I
the
don't
show.
because I don't pay for fucking Twitter, so I wasn't gonna like write it on a notepad like everybody else does and then stick it on there. I can't stand that when people do it.
Stick it on there. Well, very well said, Tommy. Because again, if you have to go out of your way to try to point a finger at somebody for somebody else's
Let the man
death,
rest,
it's
man.
unbelievable. It really. Look, I say it all the time. For me and my career, and like I'm talking broadcast media, everything. it always comes back to wrestling for me, right? It always comes back to wrestling for Payne. It now started with him not too long ago. Like, we're in this thing, right? And they're the best fans in the world. They're the most passionate fans in the world.
To a fault.
To a very big fault. Because there are people out there, for every amazing wrestling fan that's out there, there are some pieces of vile garbage that just don't deserve a voice. And I think that people should crack down on them. And, you know, again, there's only so much you can do behind a keyboard. I get that. But, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, rest in peace, Sabu. A fantastic career, an awesome innovator. And, like I said, the wrestling world lost a really good one. And if you want more on that, you can watch Dark Side of the Ring or whatever else for his career.
I got to meet him at WrestleCon last year when we went.
Huh?
I got to meet him at WrestleCon last year when I was walking around with Yusef. Nicest guy in the fucking world.
You know what? You know what's so funny? I met him at Hammerstein because he appeared for Joey, right? And the end of that match, when he basically set up the spring break match, and I remember seeing him in the back talking to Lauderdale, and Sabu was like very like, you know what? I don't know if I should be doing this. Like, you know, maybe this isn't a spot for me. Maybe you should get somebody else to do it. Like somebody else to do it better for Joey. And Lauderdale had to like look at him in the face. He goes, "Don't forget who the fuck you are. Like, you're fucking Sabu, dude. Like, you are a legend in this business. You are the fucking man." And it took that, a little kick in the ass, to Sabu to say, you know what? You're fucking right. And then he shows up in the ring and they set up the match and then they do the match. And while you're watching the match on Triller and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe the beating this guy took. This ain't his first rodeo. No. You know what I mean? Like, so let's not pretend that was the match that fucking killed him.
And I'm pretty sure Tommy Tequila said when he was doing that thing with the Legion of Skanks or whatever the hell, he said that wasn't going to be his last match. He wanted to do another one.
Exactly.
So he had plans. He had plans.
He was about to Ric Flair the shit out of all this. Like, look, this is my last match again.
Yeah, but your body can only take so much after what he did to it. You know, he didn't have a lot of normal wrestling matches. There's nothing normal about barbed wire ropes and explosions. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I saw him take a headlock or like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Payne, thoughts on any of this, or just kind of sat back and...
He wasn't knocked out cold when he got thrown out of the ring. I know that for a fact. I saw the video of him going out of the ring on the opposite side where no one's really seen that footage. Mm-hmm. And he's literally talking to the referee like, I'm good, I'm good. So,
yeah.
Saying he got knocked out cold and then they forced him to continue. And that's why they sent Sabu out there.
Yeah. Like, it's
what
crazy.
It is.
The whole
Great career. Probably.
Again, it's nobody's.
Biggest WWE moment for me remembering him was probably the top rope leg drop off Cena onto the table.
Yes. So like he did have his day in the sun as far as under the WWE umbrella. Yep. Those matches, first of all, that whole one night stand was fucking amazing.
Oh my God.
It was so good. You know, it was so well done. And like that's what we remember. And like we remember all the times that Cena tried to throw his fucking shirt in the crowd and throwing it back for like 5 minutes. Yeah. Like that's some of that stuff that you'll never forget. And Sabu was a part of it. So again, shout out to Joey for putting this match on. Joey Janela will be in action against Marcus Mathers at the War on the Shore 2. We're very excited to have Joey. We love Joey, and we think that, you know, anything that he's getting right now on Twitter is not warranted, and we hope that, you know, that eventually this shit gets, you know, kind of... that's got to be fucking ridiculously tough to read that and get DMs like of just goobers, neck-bearded goobers that are online. Are like, you're a murderer.
If I were to do it differently, I probably would have thought about telling that story and said, this is probably going to get misconstrued wrong because everything he says gets misconstrued wrong.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's, look.
When you're talking to the guy who thought he was working me at the War on the Shore 2 for 5 minutes. So he was like, wait, really? Really? No, Joey, we don't get to wrestle again. I'm sorry.
So yeah, it's just... It sucks on all fronts.
What are you going to do? But listen.
Go to work.
Yeah. Payne's going to check out of here. We're all going to get out of here. We hope you enjoyed. Listen, buy your tickets for the War on the Shore 2 right now. There are only a select amount of floor seats left.
9 third-row seats.
9 third rows as we're recording this.
After that, bring your own beach chair.
Bring every room. Post up shop. Get your tequila. Get your booze. Get your beers. It's going to be a fantastic day in the sun. And
bigger production.
Bigger. It's going to be bigger. Bigger than last year.
Bigger.
And we'll keep upping the ante every single year, just trusting us and trusting and Payne, and eventually he's going to get his way with a lot of the things that he wants. So it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
On the Shore 14.
So for Dave, right, War on the Shore, Daytona. For Dave Sturchio, Tommy Dee, Chris Payne, and of course Seth in the corner over there watching the show. This has been another episode of the Fight Factor Wrestling Podcast. Please subscribe, like, do all that fun shit you're supposed to do, and we'll see you guys next week.